Join us today as we talk about the events that we're going to try to do at GenCon. Well, the ones we're signed up for, anyway.
Yeah.
This is the Geek Cabal channel. If you've not been here before, my name's Bobbie.
I'm Chad.
And we're going to be talking about GenCon. So if you've not been here before, you should check out our other videos we've already done. In case you stumbled upon this, you have no idea what GenCon is. It is the largest gaming convention in North America. Depending on how one counts the attendance, because apparently there's some discrepancies, it is possibly the largest in the world.
Yep.
With only one being maybe ahead of it, and that is Essen in Germany. So
Which I would love to go to one year, but
yeah, that would
money
and
time off from work.
Yeah, I would like to go. I mean, I'd like to do other things while I was in Europe if I was going to do that. Definitely making a stop in Denmark. The Lego house.
Oh.
Lego stuff. Get the exclusive Lego house set. Because that's the only way you can get it, is to go there. So, I think it changes every year, too. So, got to plan a yearly trip to Europe for a Lego set. Totally worth it. I can't even make it to the north side of Indianapolis frequently.
I know the feeling.
Sitting here talking about going to Denmark. So anyway, we've done a few videos talking about like our tips and advice. That's probably the big one you should check out if you haven't checked out the others, and if you plan on going. The others are a little less relevant right now because like the event system is already moving. Now, if you're going to go and you haven't gotten event tickets yet, you do still want to check out that video so you understand how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But like you need to get on the ball there. And in fact, if you are going and do not have a badge yet, and you see this video before, I believe it was June 16th, you need to buy your badge and your tickets because I believe that's the cutoff date to have your badge mailed to you. Which, if you're in the United States, I strongly recommend it's what you do.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the United States, I don't know.
Depends on your postal system.
Depends on the postal system. I don't know if the tariffs are somehow going to come into play in this. Your guess is as good as mine on that. If you're an international person and you've done this, like, let me know. Although I guess you won't know until they ship it to you. So, but if it does happen, and posthumously tell us so we know for the future, maybe. But yeah, so all that aside, today we're going to be talking about the events that Chad and I are signed up for. Could end up doing other events because it's still 2 months out, and not all the events are in the event system yet.
Yep.
But this year did have the largest number from the get-go. So the majority of them should be in there. But yeah. So, Chad, you want to talk a little bit about what you're going to here first?
Well, mine's pretty much based on what I like to do every year and what some friends signed up for that sounded fun and just some new stuff.
All right.
First up, I actually got Thursday events this year and broke my usual tradition of nothing on Thursday.
Hopefully nothing at 10 a.m.
No. First one's at 3 p.m.
Oh, good. That'll give us time to go through the catalyst line.
Maybe just to get through the catalyst line.
Yes. Maybe time to grab a hot dog, an overpriced hot dog somewhere. No, seriously, we'll be through the catalyst line by noon.
I know. But it's first one's 3 p.m. War Machine, guided learn to play. I had friends pick up a few of the War Machine starter sets last year at GenCon. And one of them's going to this specific one, and I'm like, they have multiple armies. It'd, be a smart idea to learn to play, and I might pick up a starter set of my own.
And that one's a miniature game, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the same company that makes Hordes?
Yes and no, it was.
Oh.
That company went bankrupt.
Aha.
And it was... War Machine was bought up by Steam Forged Games.
Okay. So kind of like whenever WizKids was ultimately bought by Topps, and then only certain parts of it were bought by the new WizKids, who bought like HeroClix, but didn't try to buy BattleTech and Shadowrun.
Which let Catalyst get a hold of it.
Or Topps wasn't willing to sell them. I don't know the full story there.
Yeah.
Because I think if Topps was smart, or if Catalyst had the money, they'd just sell it to Catalyst. Because I think Topps doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
So yeah,
total sidetrack.
Figured I'd learn to play.
Yeah.
I do technically have a War Machine army.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah, I think so. Is that one of the boxes that we opened up on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, random stuff my mom got me.
Yeah. There you go.
I do technically have a fully painted army.
Hey, there you
Just had no clue what it was at the time.
go.
And it is actually the faction I want, so.
Well, that's good.
Then the only other event I have Thursday is at 7 p.m. for 2 hours. I get to go to Blood on the Clock Tower, Trouble Brewing, Learn to Play. So, Brian from Boston had asked me and Bobbie to go to some events with him. Had no idea what Blood on the Clock Tower is.
Yeah, it's a social deduction game.
Yeah.
So it's in the vein of like Werewolf. Spoiler for my list, I will also be going to a Learn to Play, and so will Chris, because we're going to try to go to a later game with Brian also.
So, like, that's the only Learn to Play they had that really fit with everything else I was going to do. So, that's it for me on Thursdays. Friday, there's like 4 events I go to, although technically it's 3. Oh, no. 3 events I go to, technically it's 4.
Okay.
11 a.m. rolling on to D&D Beyond. It's literally just here's what's coming up with D&D Beyond.
Try to get your New Year's subscription.
I don't know about that, but I've been considering it. That 6 character limit's really not great. Then at 1 p.m. on Friday, I go to Leviathan Shakedown Cruise because we got Leviathans coming.
Yeah,
and I would like to know how to play it without muddling through the rules.
Chad, that's half the fun.
I mean, I'm sure by the time we get it, it'll be long enough after this that we'll muddle through the rules anyways.
I actually suspect we'll have it around GenCon. So
After GenCon, but when will we actually get around to unboxing it all and actually playing?
Well, considering we still haven't played around at BattleTech, it could be a while.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I just did a book review for a BattleTech book that once I looked it up, I bought it in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been sitting on the shelf for a while.
Only a little while.
Yeah. So anyway.
Then I go to the Innies.
Okay, now.
This is the one event, technically 2 events.
Okay.
But for those of you that don't know what the Innies are, it is a game award system. It's annual fan-based celebration of excellence in tabletop role-playing gaming. It's the Oscars for gaming, pretty much.
Now, they don't do the voting there, right?
No. This is like the actual award ceremony.
Okay. So who actually does the voting, do you know?
No clue.
Okay.
This is my first year going.
Sure.
But I signed up for the cocktail reception and silent auction at 6 p.m. in the Union Station Grand Hall.
Maybe I should go to that.
That goes for 2 hours. And then at 8 p.m., it is the actual award ceremony for the Innies in the Union Station Grand Hall. This is the one event, but technically 2 events, because it'll be one right into the other. The cocktail reception has a silent auction where you can buy stuff, I guess.
I believe that's where they hold the dance, isn't it?
No clue.
I think it is.
I don't know.
Which, by the way, there's tickets for that in the system too. Neither of us signed up for it, just in case you folks come across it. And for what it's worth, that's only for priority entrance. Like, they'll let you in without a ticket, but it's prioritized to people that have tickets.
And if you're looking at it just to go to the bar in the cocktail reception, it is a cash bar. It is not free.
Well, I didn't expect it was free.
They call it out right in the description.
I know, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't expect it was free. Like, did the ticket cost you anything?
No, the ticket was free.
Okay, so
I can sit there not drinking and not, participating in the silent auction because I'm going to be whispering to my buddies way too loudly.
So, just of what you've talked about so far, you need to fill the folks in what was free, what was not.
Okay, so yeah, I can't remember which ones were free.
Well, I think it says a different thing, doesn't it?
No.
Oh.
War Machine cost. Rolling on to okay. War Machine and Blood on the Clock Tower cost.
Okay.
Rolling on to D&D Beyond is free.
Okay.
Leviathan Shakedown, I think, cost a bit of money.
It does, because I got tickets for that too.
Like $6.
Yeah.
But the Innies, both the silent auction and the actual awards were free. That's up till Friday covered. Saturday, I have 3 events. The first one's at 8 a.m. Be glad I'm not riding with you this year.
No, you should be glad you're not riding with me. I would leave at 8 a.m.
Well,
much less get you there at 8 a.m.
This is for Gundam assembly tutorial, which was free.
No.
So yeah, Saturday, 8 a.m. I get to go in, assemble a Gundam Mini, and paint it. No clue what Mini yet.
Yeah, and this is for the game that we mentioned in one of our podcast episodes. Will the game be out by then?
I don't know. The website says release date 2026 now.
Okay. So it's a miniatures combat. We suspect it's a miniatures combat.
It is a miniatures combat game
based on various Gundam shows. I don't think it's specific.
It is not specific to any one, because what we've seen so far is ones from Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, and one I've not seen.
Okay. So yeah. So we're presently speculating that it's either going to be the RX-78 Gundam from the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
Isn't it RX-74?
No, it's 78.
Okay.
Or because since it's going to be paint the thing and then you get to keep the model.
Yeah, you get to keep the model.
So it's either going to be, like I said, we're either going to be unlucky and it's going to be the RX-78, which you only need one of, because there is only one.
Or unlucky and it'll be like the Gundam Wing.
Yeah,
which you only need one of.
Because the Wing Gundam, or any of the Gundams from Gundam Wing are single units.
They're unique units. Or maybe the Tallgeese 3 from Gundam Wing.
Yeah. Although I suppose the RX-78, no. Well, I was going to say you could repaint it, but even the others do look different, don't they? Like the
a little bit.
Like the mass-produced ones in 8th MS team look different, don't they?
Yeah.
They're similar. You can tell they're based on.
However, if you get one of the Gundams from 8th MS team, it'll be the Easy 8, which was only ever one of.
The unique one, yeah. No, I'm hopeful it's one of the generic mobile suits.
You mean the Gem or the Zaku?
Yeah, I don't care if it's a Gem. I prefer the Zaku personally, but
I would take a Leo.
I think the Zaku has more character.
I would take a Leo.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Leo gives you choices, though. Is the problem.
Space Leo, Brown Leo, Sea Leo.
Yeah. Although it would depend on the accessories. Because if it doesn't have the accessories, it has to be the ground type.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It won't be anything cool like the Rick Dom or the. It definitely won't be anything really cool like the Goof Custom from the N8 MS team.
And definitely won't be any of...
Or the GM Sniper or anything like that.
No, you meant the Gem Sniper.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot they're idiots and pronounced the letters GM together as Gem.
Yes, I disagree with it myself. For years I referred to it as the GM.
Yeah.
Because it's General Mobile.
It'll be a ball.
I would actually take a ball. By the way, it is actually spelled B-A-L-L.
Yeah, well, it's literally just a ball with 2 arms and a gun on the top. And they're only for space. You can't use them in the atmosphere.
Nope.
Because they're only space mobile suits.
Yep.
It's not even a mobile suit. It's not a mobile armor. What the hell do they call them?
I don't know.
I don't know what they call them. But
it definitely won't be one of the cool mobile armors either.
No, it won't be anything. No.
It won't be any of the ships, which we have seen one of them in.
Yeah.
Like in miniature.
No, they'll give us like a Xeon tank or something. Just like an actual tank, that they use, or the jets.
Wait, but not the one that's actually both of them together? I would take that.
Oh, that has the top can launch the fighter? Yeah.
I would take that.
Yeah.
You didn't hear me smirching that thing. That thing's cool. That's like the one Xeon toy I actually bought when I was a kid.
I have some of those. The Bandai toys for those. Like, I dug all those out the other day. I have almost 100 figures for that, with like 80 of them being from the Universal Century storyline.
I'm sure.
So my Xeon army is gargantuan.
But like, that's easy to do. The Universal Century storyline is the longest running storyline for Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, most of mine are from like the 1 Year War 8th MS team War in the Pocket era. I've got a few from Stardust Memory. I've got the Nuclear Gundam and the full Vernian Gundam.
Yeah.
And I have the Zommel from the very beginning, the big mobile armor thing.
Yeah.
And then I have some from Char's Counterattack. Like I've got the Sazabi Char's mobile suit. I've got Amuro's like the N98 or whatever, with the new gun, whatever it was called. That funnels. And then I have the upgraded versions of the Gems and the Zaku's. So
What if they give us one of the Gundams from G Gundam? Like the Shining Gundam.
I was thinking, is it going to be a battle of just how stereotypical it is? You're sitting over there, oh, I'll pick the one practical one. I'm sitting over here thinking, will it be the Tequila Gundam or the Windmill Gundam? Oh, man.
Or, could be the Lumberjack Gundam for Canada.
Yeah, I actually, some of the ones I found were from G Gundam, and I think one of them is the Lumberjack Gundam. It's the Lumberjack or the Viking. I'll have to look it up. But I have that. I have the Master Gundam, like the gold version of it.
Do you have the Snake Gundam from India?
No, I had those two. The Skull Gundam. Two like generics that had been like corrupted by the Devil Gundam. So they have like the 2-leg or the 4-leg version. I had the Devil Gundam. I sold it.
See, they could have went. They could go, the religious route and go with either the God Gundam or the Devil Gundam.
Well, I had the Devil Gundam. I had the big one, the big mutated one.
Oh.
And I sold it because I'm looking through everything. It's like, why do I have just the lower torso to something? Like just the legs to something. And I realized, like, I bet those went to the Devil Gundam, and these were just the regular legs for it. And I just never found them and didn't sell them with the other ones. So now they're just in this lot. Because they're up for sale too, by the way.
But yeah. That tirade aside, like, I figured, it's going to be one of the earliest chances to get a hold of the Mini.
Yeah.
So why not sign up for it? I might actually have another fully paid-in Mini by the time I'm done with the class, because it is 1 hour. Or it might just be at the 1 hour mark the glue's finishing drying. Don't know.
I'm hoping that they're snapped together.
They are.
So.
We've seen photos of the screws.
Okay.
Then my next event on Saturday is at 4 p.m.
The costume contest.
Costume contest, which I've gone to every year since Bobbie first got me to go. Because he said, hey, you need to go to this.
Yeah, I have not gone every year I've gone because I didn't start going to the costume contest till like a couple years in, I think.
Well, I don't know. It was something you had me do the first year. I liked it. I like seeing what people spend their time and energy through the year or more than a year to get done. And yeah. I enjoy the ones where it's throw this together really quickly and, ham it up.
Yeah.
Those are fun too. Then when that ends, I got like less than a minute to make it from the 500 ballroom over to the Wabash West Concourse for Blood on the Clock Tower, Bad Moon Rising. I think I can do it, folks.
We'll see.
Or I might dip out of the costume contest 5 minutes early and give myself time to get over there, beat the crowd.
Yeah, that's probably the better approach. Of course, as usual, the costume contest
will run right up till 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And then we will have been promised, hey, there's time for photos afterwards.
There will not be.
And the next event in that room starts at 6 p.m. and they want us to start getting out at 6 p.m.
Well, they want us out of there at 6 p.m. Like that's a people in hell want ice water kind of situation, but that's what they want.
And then I have an event Sunday at 2 p.m. Gundam assembly tutorial, because I figured why not get 2 of them.
Yeah. Of
whatever mini they're giving out, because plus Bobbie's going to that one, so I figured go to one with Bobbie. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Chad's doing for the moment.
There's only 3 of them that sold out on my list. So that is to note if you want to end up going to any of these events with me or so. The Learn to Play for Blood on the Clock Tower sold out. The Gundam Assemble on Saturday sold out. And the 39th annual GenCon costume contest is sold out. However, that's on the costume contest, they give guaranteed seating to so many people. Yeah. There's always extra room and they start accepting generics.
Well, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, so you don't even need generics.
Yeah, you just show up, go in.
Yeah. Now they like Chad is saying, like I said earlier, it's prioritized to who has tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's about 5 or 10 minutes after it starts. If there are seats left, then they let other people in. And there are always seats because people don't show up or something.
And they have some ungodly amount of seats in there anyways.
Yeah, I think it's limited to 600, but I think it holds more than 600. So
yeah.
But yeah.
And like The Gundam Assemble stuff's free. The costume contest free. Blood on the Clock Tower was $4.
Yeah, and we mentioned this in the event video, but just in case you didn't see that, and you're going, need to know. The generics are $2, so the price of all the other events is in $2 increments. So if you think you want to go to an event and it's full, you can bring generics and hope that a person didn't show up, or that for whatever reason they have another opening, and they will take generics in lieu of specific tickets. Now, if you do that and don't end up using your generics, as long as you go, I think it's before 4 o'clock. I know it's definitely before 4, but I don't think there's like an hour cutoff before that. I think as long as before 4 o'clock on Sunday, you go and get them refunded, you'll get system credit. You won't get your money back, but you'll get system credit, which for the next year, go towards your badge or events or whatever.
Or another event in this year's GenCon that you want to go to.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you still have them at the end of the show, just make sure that you go before 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock, like, the show's over.
Yep.
Pack it up, everyone go home. So, like, make sure if you have any generics left, do it then. And if you have an event that you're not going to that costs, go get rid of your ticket anyway. Even if it doesn't cost money, so you'll open up for someone else. But if it does cost money, you have to do it before the event starts. And I think it's actually a cutoff before the event starts, like a few minutes out.
If I suddenly decide I don't want to go to the costume contest, I won't just hold on to that and be like, here it is. I'm going to go and refund it to open that ticket up to someone who wants to go to it.
Yeah. So be courteous.
Yeah. And I should backtrack to point out there were a few of these that I have a friend going to, is why I'm going to them, because he pointed them out and they looked interesting. And that's Rolling On to D&D Beyond and the Innies. Yeah. My friend Luke.
I talked to him the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him there at work.
And
yeah.
But yeah, he found both of those. Pointing them out, I was like, that sounds interesting. Let's go to them, because I try to get events with a few of my friends, just to be like, not just, have friends at Gen Con and totally ignore them.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past.
Why would you do that? I haven't done that.
Excuse me? Last year, you only went to the costume contest with me.
Chad,
Every other event I pointed out I wanted to go to, you're like, nah.
Well, just because
and you showed up to the costume contest late.
Just because I don't want to go to an event doesn't mean we can't do other things together.
Yeah, we went to Fogo. Fogo is worth it.
Yes. That's because, well...
2 days before we actually go to Fogo, put out on YouTube where we're going when, and see who all shows up. Although that might be a little... we'd want to clear that with Chris first.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that after the recording here.
Yeah. You're going to tell me we're not going to Fogo. That I need to make my own reservation and talk other people into going.
No.
Okay.
No, I did tell you that Brazilian Steakhouse opened up like a block from its house, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Tucanos?
No, it's not. It's some other...
Do they have the little cheesy bread things that Tucanos had, but Fogo doesn't?
I didn't ask.
You need to ask that.
Well, you can ask him. You've got his number.
He talks to you more often.
Well, yeah, I've known him, I think, longer than you've been alive, so...
That is quite possible.
So, yeah. I mean, not by much, to be clear, but I've known him since I was 5. So anyway, now, on to what I'm doing. This is going to sound kind of familiar.
A little.
All right. So, okay, it looks like mine actually is in order. Because I realized after I sent it to you, I was like, did I sort those or not?
You can't sort it once you go to your schedule. It just, here's everything in order.
I went to my schedule, so it would be in order. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, with attached onto the event system thing, wish list you can sort by priority or start time. Once it's in your schedule, it's only by start time.
Yeah, which makes sense. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is at 4 o'clock on Thursday, which will be the BattleTech Alpha Strike Academy.
Wait, you're doing a Thursday event?
Yeah.
Before Dealers Hall closes?
That's when Dealers Hall closes. No, the hell shit, that is before, isn't it?
5 is when it closes.
Yeah, it closes at 6.
Yeah. Oh my. You are leaving Dealers Hall 2 hours before it closes on Thursday.
I want to go back for the last half an hour.
What are you going to do? Step your toe in there and then turn around and leave?
No, I figured that, like, well, I'm going to be done at Catalyst.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing else I have to rush to. WizKids isn't even going to be there. So.
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Plus, we normally do an event on Thursday, but it's something else. And I'm surprised you haven't commented that I'm not going to do that this year. Something true.
Oh, yeah, that's for you to discuss with them.
Yeah, so before I get into all this, the last 5 years, maybe 5 years, I don't know. Chris and I have gone to do True Dungeon. Chad did go at least
the
once.
first year.
Yeah. And I believe Sarah went with us once.
Yeah, but it was like really cheap the year I went.
Yeah, so this year we got to look like we were all geared up to try to do it because we tried to do it on Thursday after the dealer's hall closes. So anytime after 6. Usually we shoot for like 7.
Yeah.
To give us time to get a drink, use the bathroom, have a seat for a second. And because you're going to be on your feet for 2 hours for True Dungeon. So,
and then I would wait around while you guys did the event, watch your bags, for you didn't have to carry those all through True Dungeon.
Well, Chad, we don't have to worry about this year because of the bag check.
Yeah, but does that not cost money?
It does.
See, you'd still have a friend to watch them for free.
So anyway, by the way, may the odds be ever in your favor on the bag check thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way there's enough room for 70,000 people to check their bags. Like, they're probably like if there's room for 7,000 people
That's
to check
fine.
their
I'm
bags.
just still carry my stuff with me.
But I am curious how it works out. So I'm going to check it out, but I'm not going to stand in line Thursday morning trying to get a spot for that. I don't think. I still hold that the best strategy is to check an empty bag into there because you have all day in and out privileges and just keep coming and just dumping your stuff in the bag that you left in there until it's time to go.
So is that where you would use your massive gaming
Yes.
bag?
Yes. They probably charge me extra for that, given how big it is.
No, because you put it in there folded up. Duh.
I've seen some people speculate that people are going to put mattresses in there and then just pull them out in the hallway and sleep.
No.
Or go to the...
I wouldn't pull them out into the hallway.
Or go to the screaming booth if they have them. Well, the bag check closes like at 7 or something.
Oh.
Or 7 or 9. So it's not open overnight. And if you leave stuff in there, it's going to cost you like another day. Presumably another day. They haven't specified.
You leave your stuff in there overnight once you're in the first day.
Yeah.
Duh.
I mean...
Because you're going to want to use it the next day.
Yeah. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to, like I said, is BattleTech Alpha Strike Academy. This is the Learn How to Play Alpha Strike. I've done it before, but I don't know if I'm going to get any Alpha Strike games in between now and then. And I'm signed up for an Alpha Strike event. So I want to have it fresh in my mind. So
it'd be you could always just ask someone to play BattleTech with Alpha Strike with you instead of
Chad. Given how infrequently we're able to get together to do this, which requires much less planning.
Now, literally, you just gotta be like, "Hey, what are you doing this X day?" "Oh, I'm doing nothing. Like, it's my day off. I'm just lazing around the house for the day." "Hey, can I come over and play BattleTech after work? Or do you want to see about trying to come over to my place and play BattleTech?" "Oh, let me see if Jordan has any plans." 30 minutes later, "Hey, don't have plans. Are we going to do that?"
Okay, well...
Bam, boom, done.
We'll try that. Then at 6, I'm going to the Blood on the Clock Tower, Trouble Brewing, Learn to Play. What's the thing you're going to?
6? I mean, there's a way to check. Thursday at 6?
Yeah.
No, mine's at 7.
Yeah. Well.
I tried to get to 6 o'clock, but my schedule doesn't work out and all that.
And this one is sold out, by the way. And these first 2 events were both money events. I think Alpha Strike Academy is $6, I think. And then the Leviathans, Shakedown Cruise, going Friday at 1 on that 1 p.m. to be clear. I'm not suicidal to go at 1 a.m.
Hey, it is technically in the gaming part of the hall, so it is open 24/7.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're running that event 24/7.
No. And then, for some reason, I sent
Sent
you
me
a picture.
2 photos
Well, yeah. Not
where
just-
there's a clear overlap area.
Yeah. So then Friday at 2, which thankfully these are in like literally the same section. That's the only reason I got them back to back like this. Friday at 2 is the Alpha Strike event. It's drafted for war, and you get 3 salvage boxes, which if you don't know what those are, check out by the videos, like the opening salvage box videos. But it's a single mech usually with an Alpha Strike card and a pilot card. And so you get 3 of those, and you have to make your force out of those, presumably based on points and not just what you pull.
Here's a question for that event. Is it just using the salvage boxes or also the mercenary salvage boxes?
Well, unclear. I don't know which ones we're going to specifically get.
Because if it includes the mercenary ones, tank ho.
No, there's... Okay, so the regular mercenary salvage boxes should only be mechs. There's a separate line that are the vehicles. And they're supposed to... I think they have 2 vehicles and not just 1. But some of them were mispackaged, and so some of the mercenaries boxes do in fact have vehicles in them, but it's a very low number. I didn't get any with my Kickstarter; they were all mechs. So, and I don't know if it's going to be specifically those. Like it could also be like the legendary salvage boxes could be in there too, for all I know. So, but I think they're going to make them just the mechs.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you get 3 of them, and you keep them at the end. That one was a little expensive. I think that was like $30.
Well, you got to pay for the 3 salvage boxes,
Right? But even at retail, that's like. I think they're like $5 each.
And you're taking up their table.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Like,
and you have a judge.
I get it. Like, let's say the salvage boxes are $8. That's $24, and then $6 in gaming fees.
Yeah.
So I get it.
And we've done booster draft BattleTech events back at GenCon, which would be $30 an event, and you only get 1 booster.
That was HeroClix.
HeroClix, yeah. What did I say?
He said BattleTech.
Oh, yeah, it was HeroClix. Sorry, people, I misspoke. I have mostly sold off my HeroClix. There's the handful I kept because I like.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a 4-hour event. Brian's gonna be doing that one with me, and then Friday at 7, we're doing the Blood on the Clock Tower, Bad Moon Rising, and that'll be me, Chris, and Brian. They're gonna be doing that one.
I could not go to that one because that one is smack dab in the middle of the Ennies.
Yeah, and so then have the costume contest,
which is on Saturday.
It's on Saturday at 4:00. Then, if we like what we did Friday, we're going to do the same thing, the Bad Moon Rising again, Saturday at 6.
If you like it?
Yeah, I'm sure we probably will.
So, if you don't like it on Friday, I'm SOL on Saturday for doing it with you.
Well, Chad, if you're going to stick with it on Saturday,
I plan to.
Then we will stick.
I'm going to do the Learn to Play, and then I'm actually going to give here's the actual event.
We will ride it out with you if you do it. Well, at least I will. I can't speak for Chris and Brian, although Brian probably will too because he's already done this before. He knows what he's getting himself into.
Oh, so. Cool. I did not. Brian was literally like, hey, it'd be cool if you guys were able to do Blood on the Clock Tower or Hunter x Hunter event with me. And I'm like, I'll look into those. I don't really watch. Is this the Hunter x Hunter anime thing event? Yes. I'm like, cool. I don't really watch that. So, Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he did this last year.
No,
because we were talking about doing something. He's like, well, I'll get this other thing. And I think this is what he said. So
yeah, I signed up for the Learn to Play and the other thing.
Yeah. Now, the hard part for me is that's going to get out at 8. I have to try to convince Chris to stay there for 2 more hours.
Why?
So I can see them destroy the cards at Card Halla.
Oh, yeah, you've always tried to do that.
No, I've done it at least once.
Once, yes.
But, everyone else is like, oh, I'm tired. I'm like...
I don't say I'm tired by that point.
You're usually saying, well, it's more like I'm dying or I'm collapsing or something.
I'm sore, and I would love to just go back to Chris's and sit down.
So if I can convince Brian, I might be getting an Uber back up to Chris's. Because I understand why you don't want to stick around for it. I get it. But, And then Sunday I have one event, the Gundam Assemble at 2 o'clock, like Chad's going to. So, yeah, I think that should be the same one. Yeah.
Should be. Same place.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a little lighter on events than Chad, but I'm doing a much longer event in the 4-hour Drafted for War thing.
So, if we added up the hours, it might balance out. I don't know. Yeah, but I also told myself I was going to go light on events this year, and I ended up with like 10 of them.
Yeah, and keep in mind that we also have to keep our a big chunk of Saturday clear because that's when we usually go to Fogo. So it'll probably we'll probably have a reservation for around noon to 2, somewhere in there.
We usually go before noon because we get the brunch stuff.
Yeah.
It's usually like 11 to 1 that we go.
It'll be somewhere in there, and usually it's a matter of we can go for an hour to the show and then meet Chris at Fogo, or we'll just all ride in together and just go to Fogo. And that's probably what it'll be this year.
Well, this year it'll be, I have to meet up at Fogo.
Yes, it'll be me and Chris, because Chad has decided to stay someplace else.
Yes, at a hotel that apparently has a jacuzzi. So I have been told.
Yeah. So there is one other like little kind of update, little bit of information here. From what I've been told by someone who posted on one of our videos, the presumably underground parking underneath the mall is probably not an option because they are readying parts of the mall for demolition. So apparently that's not an option. The above ground parking should be because that's connected on another block, and I can't see them tearing that. I got the feeling that's going to stay up. I don't think they're going to tear that down because just the need for parking downtown.
Also, like shortly after we recorded our last video, the advice one, I believe, GenCon's policy became no wagons in Dealers Hall.
I did a whole separate video on that.
Oh, I have not seen that video, and I was not in it.
Go ahead. Because I actually filmed a little thing to put into our video that literally said everything else you're about to hear is not really relevant anymore, but I'm going to leave it because there's some funny stuff. So.
Yeah, the wagons are no longer a thing. Strollers without kids in them are not allowed. It's like one headache gone.
Yeah.
They also can't get rid of the other one. That's the 4-foot-long backpacks for board games because they sell those there at the convention center. What do they go to do? Tell you, hey, here's your cool backpack, but it's got to stay sealed in the bag and get it out of Dealers Hall ASAP.
Well, that's what they do with some of the weapons that they sell.
True, but those are weapons.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's because of the policy that you can't have bladed weapons in there. So...
You'd think they would fall back on the wire the weapons into the sheaths until they leave, and then,
I'm just saying, like, they already do have a policy of the thing they sell in the convention hall that you have to remove once you buy it. So, unless they've changed that, but I believe that is the case.
So, yeah, like, I am... The strollers I never had a problem with.
As long as it's a stroller.
A kid
Like I said in the other video, it's the war wagon that I have a problem with. It's as long as your table. It's literally the dimensions of your table here with wheels.
Yeah, the outdoor gardening wagon.
Yeah. Yeah, or the ones that, like, if I'm standing up, come up to here on me. Like, have you ever seen those? Like
I've been to GenCon before, Bobbie.
Like, there could be, like, a couple adults hiding in those. Forget kids. Like,
yeah.
Like, you could easily smuggle a couple adults in there and have them, like, pop out of a hatch somewhere. And then it's like, that's how you avoid paying badge fees until someone notices they're not wearing a badge. I'm not going to go into how you can get around that because I don't want to. But
well, yes, we do not want to be banned from GenCon.
No.
We enjoy it too much.
But yeah, so I mentioned the bag check. That's all part of the deal here. Is this year they're going to have an area where you can take your bags and drop them off, and you'll get a ticket. Think like a laundromat with your laundry kind of stuff.
Or a coat check.
Or a coat check. That's probably a better analogy. Now, I don't know. The company that is doing this is a rental locker company. So I don't know if they will actually have physical lockers, but they'll be the ones accessing them, not you. It might be a case of like, we're putting your stuff in locker 10. Here's the tag for locker 10. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. It has to be something like that to organize it.
Freaking, a stranger's going to be touching my stuff and putting it away for me?
Yeah.
No. I need to be making sure my stuff gets where I want it.
That's just like a coat check.
I've never used a coat check either.
Well, they put your coat in a hanger and put it back in the back somewhere with a number on it.
I'll just wear my coat.
I mean, I wouldn't do that at GenCon. You'll die of heat exhaustion, but...
I'm not going to take a coat to GenCon either.
But, so that's the deal. And so, as a consequence, in the dealer's hall, like Chad said, you cannot bring wagons. You can't bring luggage that you're pulling around on wheels. You can't bring a stroller that doesn't have kids in it. So you can't, be like, oh, yeah, my kid's over there. I just happen to have all these board games in the seat, keeping it warm for them. Like, they're not going to buy that.
No, you tell them it's a booster seat in the stroller for the kid can see stuff on the table.
So, like I said, I've already done a video on this, and in the description of that video, I link to all the relevant documentation. I'll try to put it in here, too, so you don't have to...
Since I brought it up.
But there is also another change. Well, at least we suspect it's a change, because no one ever noticed it before if it wasn't. There's also some rules of behavior in the dealer's hall that are mentioned.
Ooh.
No sitting in the aisles, for one thing.
Wait, what if I drop something and it rolls under one of the dealer's tables and I got to get down on my hands and knees and appear to be sitting to get to it?
I think that's a different situation. I think you'll be all right.
Okay.
Just
I'm not going to drop anything. I just want to make sure that in case that circumstance comes up.
Well, and the other thing that I'm wondering is, do they consider the outer perimeter an aisle?
You mean where they have chairs sitting?
But also, like, one of these days, this is why I said in one of my messages, we got to take a bunch of B footage this year, so I can put up pictures in the videos, so to tell people what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how we generally come in on one particular side?
Yeah.
The opposite side?
Wait, you mean where there's no hallway access for general people?
Correct.
And generally where there's a large empty area where nothing has been put?
Correct. I'm wondering, like, I can't see them saying you can't sit there. Like, I think...
No, because
there's
barely a crowd back there.
Right, and that's what I'm wondering, so I'm kind of curious on...
What they need to do is put chairs back there for people to sit down at.
That'd be nice. But also, you're not allowed to stop to take pictures of cosplayers in the aisles either.
I technically tried to avoid that with how busy GenCon is in there.
Well, that's the one. That's the one that everyone's that people are wondering, like, has this always been here and just nobody enforces it, or is this actually new? Because the newsletter didn't say anything about it. Just people were looking through the documentation, like, hey, wait a minute.
I generally tried to avoid that at GenCon. Comic-Con, which is much smaller, and
yes, Comic-Con, which I have videos to show you folks how wide apart everything is. I did take pictures there. You can put in the comment videos, check that out.
That I have stopped people in dealers hall and been like, hey, can I get your photo? But I've never really consciously done it at GenCon.
Oh, I have. Because, like, what am I going to do? Hey, you got 10 minutes to walk outside of the dealer's hall with me and go somewhere so I can get your picture? Or do you have, like, 30 seconds right now?
Oh, I might just on the spur of the moment, hey, can I get your photo real quick? Step back like 5 feet, and then on. Yeah. And then marvel because, like, people are like, hey, that costume is cool. They're stopped, and they let someone take a photo. Quickly, can I take one too?
Yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to avoid because it's like you said, like, if I see someone already stopped...
Oh, yeah, I'm more likely to be like, hey, can I get one too?
I'm like, hell, I'm not going to seriously inconvenience them for another 10 seconds. Like, let me just jump in here and, you know. So, yeah. So that's... I don't know how strict they're going to be on that. Like, so,
yeah.
You know, just be ready. If they say, hey, you can't be doing this, then... don't do it.
Yeah, you don't be the person that gets kicked out of GenCon.
Yeah, don't be the person that gets kicked out for that. Oh, also, another update. You remember the Great Card Heist?
Yeah, I remember. For those of you that don't know, it actually made, national news?
Yeah, I think so.
Where these two people, with their own pallet jack...
It was the year before last, right?
I think so.
Because it was the year Lorcana came out. So it wasn't
yeah,
last year, it was the year before.
They took a pallet jack to the back rooms of the convention center, where companies were storing all their stuff.
And they took a pallet of Magic the Gathering cards.
Yes, a full pallet, and walked it out.
Yeah. So
one guy had a clipboard, so looking all official.
Yeah. So one of their biggest mistakes was the fact that I believe they had their badges on.
There's that.
I think they also had shirts advertising their game. They were vendors.
There's that.
And so as a consequence, on Board Game Geek, they've had an awful lot of negative reviews.
I'm not surprised.
But as another consequence, they were recently sentenced.
Oh?
Yeah, so they are... I don't know if they're actually going to do any time. I don't remember, but they were sentenced. Like in the last month or so.
What I also heard was that the value of those Magic the Gathering cards was not all that great.
I don't know. I heard it was notable, but not worth the consequences.
Yeah. So not all that great.
Yeah, and I think this is what I believe I heard. So because this is legal matters, and I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a court reporter or anything. So this is what I've heard on the internet. Was they were caught because they tried to sell them to someone else locally to where they were, which I think was in New Jersey. And the other person was like, yeah, sure. Then called the cops like, hey, guys,
I was just offered a massive amount of Magic the Gathering cards.
I'm pretty sure these cards
and
are
this
hot.
was in the news.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these cards are hot. So, yeah. So that gives you an idea of the speed of our justice system sometimes. When you have people on camera committing the crime, and it still took almost a year and a half to sentence them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But also, just so everyone knows, crime does not pay.
No.
Or in the words of Nicolas Cage from Matchstick Men, where he plays a con artist, and he's trying to explain to this girl, without me going into it, I'm just going to say it's his daughter. She's like, aren't you supposed to tell me something like crime doesn't pay? He's like, no, it does pay. It just doesn't pay very well.
The little details.
So, yeah. By the way, I happen to fall on the it doesn't pay, and so don't run out there. Don't be like, well, this guy on YouTube said it does pay. No, it does not. Again... That's not legal advice at all.
Crime does no. Knowing what crime leads to, crime doesn't pay you. You committing crimes does not get you paid. It will get other people paid to catch you.
Yeah.
And people paid to watch you.
Yeah.
That is what crime gets paid with.
Well, Chad, not to go down a serious rabbit hole here, but I listen to things about like economics and whatnot on YouTube.
And you're looking at getting into a job with great job security?
No. No, it's volatility for me. That's where the money's at.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee it'll remain there.
It's boom and bust. Your life is always exciting, just sometimes in all the wrong ways.
Hence why it's volatile.
So, and I can't think of what it was called, but there's an economic theory that talks about if you look at things from a purely utilitarian perspective, you can't. Because that leads you to think stupid things, like whenever you notice, okay, well, this criminal broke my window, so now I have to go buy another window, have it installed. This initiates all kinds of economic activity.
Oh, that sounds awfully familiar.
And it's like, but the problem is, you're correct, but it leads you to terrible assumptions like, well, we should just break all the windows. But it's overlooking opportunity cost, because now instead of innovating, instead of building something else, you're wasting all your money on windows. And so, to your point, like, that's kind of what you're talking about. Like, yes, it does create economic activity, but it's all the wrong economic activity that's not actually advancing anything. You know, it's just playing catch up and wasting money. You know, I'm not trying to say that like the function that you're talking about as far as the police isn't an important function. What I'm trying to say is you're having to expand the police function with because of the increased crime. And that's not a net positive on society.
Trust me, I'd be way more happy if crime was like the Andy Griffith Show, where you have the weekend drunk that walks himself into the jail cell, and shuts the door behind him, and has the key to let himself out come Monday.
Or how Barney gets one bullet
a year, period.
Yeah, I think it's period. But yeah. So anyway. A little economics rant there. Yeah, so I think that's all we've got, maybe?
Yeah.
Is there been any other? I don't think there's been any other updates. I think some of the official merchandise is on sale now.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for one specific event, and it hasn't cropped up.
What's that?
You know how companies will do events at GenCon of, here's where we're standing at the moment, here's products we got in the pipeline that we're working on getting out and all.
Sure.
I went to the one with Cubicle 7 last year, who has the Warhammer fantasy role-playing game, the Warhammer Wrath and Glory, or Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory, the Warhammer 40k Imperium Nihilus, which is their more gritty, not being a Space Marine RPG, which, sure, you can play that, or you can play the quick and easy one of, I'm a Space Marine, I'm killing everything in front of me.
Yeah.
But, I went to that last year. They have not entered one into the event system form yet. And I've been keeping an eye out for it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep keeping an eye out for it. And I'm going to tell you, if that crops up and there's like an event that I don't really care about at the same time, Cubicle 7's going to win out.
Sure. So I realized just now, trying to think over, make sure there wasn't anything, I didn't actually explain why we're not going to True Dungeon this year, did I?
No, you just said for reasons.
Yeah, so now for those reasons. So Chris and I, we were all set to go. We usually go Thursday in the evening, and we got to looking, and it's like $128 a ticket. And we realized, one, that's an increase over last year. Two, that was an increase over the 20th anniversary, which was like a special event. And so, like, we're seeing these increases, just huge increases in price. I mean, like, $10 is a lot, but, like, yeah, it's up. And then, like, last year, we were a little dissatisfied with the scenario. Not the scenario, but we were definitely rushed through parts of it, which meant that either the people in front of us were taking too long, or the people behind us were not on schedule, and we were the ones paying the price for it. And we were dissatisfied with that, like, a lot. So, we kind of hot potatoed it back and forth as to who was going to make the call, and ultimately it fell to me. And I just decided that, you know, for that price, but for me what sealed the deal was whenever I saw what it cost to do it at Origins. $78.
That sounds about like what it was the year after GenCon didn't happen, where attendance was really, really low, and that was the first time me, you, and Chris went, and it was the last time I went.
Yeah, so with that in mind, I was kind of like, we're literally paying a $50 premium on top of like massively more expensive tickets just to go to the show and everything. It's like, I'm going to take a pass. However, I did tell Chris, and I am sincere in this, if he wants to go to Origins next year and actually run through it like multiple times at that price, I'll do it. You know.
I'll go to Origins with you.
So yeah, I mean,
I'll have to be very careful with my vacation time.
I mean, I want to go to Origins anyway.
Oh yeah, you guys can spend the entire day going through True Dungeon. I'll go do everything else.
Well,
Dealer's Hall, look at the games, all that fun stuff.
I think there's something else I can use to entice him. So you know how we have those just like that mountain of tokens?
Yeah.
Well, there's a way to like transmute those into other tokens to them. Well, normally you've got to like get them all packaged up and ship them off to him and everything.
You can just do it there.
They can do it on the spot there. Now you still got to package them and everything and sort them, but they can do it on the spot. So that saves us a lot of trouble.
A lot of postage and hoping it gets to you.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing you could use to entice him. Vacation. Not having to have Bobbie sleep in the spare room in his house.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just be sleeping in the other room in the hotel.
Yeah, see?
Or the other bed in the hotel, I should say.
Not his house, though.
Yeah. But,
not his spare bedroom that he has to get the bed made up for you.
Oh,
Then get up and get you up.
Well...
He'll have other people get you up.
Anyway, that's... Well, I don't want to say anything there.
You, however, would have to get him to stop off at Ironwood Metals, either before or after Origins.
Maybe. So I said that, or like I think Gamehole Con runs them also.
What?
Yeah.
Gamehole Con? What?
It's in Wisconsin. Or maybe Gary Con. Like I think all of them do.
Gamehole Con makes more sense to be in Wisconsin.
Yeah, like cornhole, but gamehole.
Yeah, that's where my mind went to as soon as you said Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if any folks are from Wisconsin and that's stereotypical. I do apologize. It is where my mind went.
Stereotypical would be saying something related to cheese. You know. But anyway.
Cheddar's good.
It is. So I think that's it. Right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So
unless you suddenly remember something else.
No, and I don't think there's anything I'm looking for that's not already in the event system. At least as of the other day, there were still openings for True Dungeon, which was kind of surprising. Well, that was the other thing. Was apparently they make their tokens in China.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who've been living under a rock for the last 6 months,
tariffs,
4 months, there are. It feels like about 6 years. They had facing tariffs from bringing them back to the country. So the tokens they're going to be giving out are mostly from like the last 4 years, not new tokens. Not that that's super significant, but like it's a thing. And I've got the feeling that all this is combined to like drive down the attendance.
Not everyone wants another year of getting Bliss tokens.
I guess. So
that are only beneficial if you're going into the area known as the Bliss.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever have, like in the years we've done it. Now this year they did offer a different thing that they've done in the past, because there's 3 new goes, and it was like you would pick a time, they got certain ones, and you would do on Thursday, you would do one of the adventures, say you pick 10 a.m. Then on Friday you do one of the others at 10 a.m. and on Saturday you do one of the others at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. is a horrible time to do it. That's when Dealer Hall first opens up.
I know. I'm just.
You got to get there bright and early to experience the crush.
I know. I'm using that as an example. Okay, like one of the problems we looked at was there was no time that one of the days didn't hit something. You know, because they don't go off like every 2 minutes like the other ones do. You know, it was like no, it's like these 3 times. It's like, well, Dealer's Hall, costume contest, you know, Fogo. It's like we can't make this work. So yeah,
that's great.
But I talked to Ryan, and he said that things are a lot more laid back there at Origins. So easier to navigate. There's plenty of parking nearby, and decent places to eat nearby too. So
good.
So maybe next year we'll have some video from Origins. It won't be this year because I think it's in like 2 weeks, but 3 weeks something.
Which means I'll have to save up a lot of money and.
Oh, Chad, no, if you're going along for the ride, like you've also got to consider Adepticon.
Like, I was considering Adepticon this year. It just didn't work out.
So, like, next year could be the big convention run.
Do I have enough vacation time?
We'll see. But anyway,
I'll use sick time. That's what I'll do.
now you're thinking.
Yes. I need this whole week off using sick time. What's going on? Mental health. That's what's happening.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm just glad my job doesn't have an in-depth review of time off requests going and being like, so what's going to happen during this time? Plus, my bosses, like, they generally know, like, as soon as I know if I'm going to do something, and I straight up tell them what my time's for, because I'm excited to go do my time elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the tentative plan. We'll see what actually happens.
Definitely won't hit like the 1 or 2 years at Walmart where it's literally half of the shelf reset team asking off for the first weekend of August.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we got today. So, barring something major, there probably won't be another GenCon video until GenCon.
I don't know. We might make a wish list or something.
Yeah, I mean, we could do something else. We are still 2 months out.
Because, like,
so.
An idea for a future video, Bobbie. I actually have a list of booths I would like to hit in Dealer's Hall.
Yeah. We could
and it is not a small list.
Yeah, we could do that. We could cover, like, once we get closer, like some products that we know are coming out or something, you know.
Yeah.
Talk about things we're excited for. Yeah, so we might. Like I said, it is 2 months. So.
By the way, 4 of those booths are dice related.
Okay. Anyway, we need to wrap this up here. So
it's only been going for a little over an hour.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I think that's all we got. So let us know down in the comments if you're planning on going to Gen Con, if you watched our other videos, if this has been helpful.
Yep.
Anything like that. If you want to meet up with us.
Yeah, just let us know. Bobbie reads all the comments. He'll pass it on to us.
Yep. So I don't know if Jimmy's going. I think Owen's going to try to go at least one day. But I don't know if Jimmy's going because his life has gotten a lot more complicated lately. So,
mine is not. It's about the same.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get my life straightened up. It's the same complicated mess. It has been.
So, anyway.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah, so if you like what you saw here, you want to see more on all that, like, share, subscribe, that fun stuff. Sharing and commenting help us grow the channel. Subscribing, obviously, is the name of the game here on YouTube, and we appreciate everyone that has. We crossed over 500 subscribers a couple months ago, and thank you all for making that happen. Stick with us, see where we go from there. Hopefully 1,000.
Hopefully, I'd be happy with 600.
I was going to say, a lot of you probably know why the goal of 1,000 is important. So, but yeah, that's all we've got today. So we'll be seeing you folks later, maybe at the convention.
Hopefully at the convention.
So, see you later.